So taxis are allowed full capacity on local trips. Operators must ensure, though, that the necessary health and safety precautions are implemented. Long-distance taxis will still only operate at 70% capacity. We're joined now by the National Taxi Alliance spokesperson, Theo, Malele. Very good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for joining us. So word has come from the top. Are you satisfied?
Well, good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your viewers. Yes, indeed, we are satisfied. Moreover, that the presentation made by the President is as a result of our inquiries with the experts.
And what did the experts have to say?
I beg your pardon?
What did the experts have to say?
So look, eNCA had made a reposition that we should go back to 100%, and that there should be an investigation that would verify as to what is the rate of infection between 70% and 100%. We were told that there are mitigating factors that we need to get into the fore. That is, to follow strict protocols that would, amongst other, entail that we ensure that the vehicles are sanitized before going on a trip, and ensure that the passengers are equally sanitized, and that all passengers aboard wear masks, and the passenger should, the driver should wear a mask, and plus a face shield, and there will also be, we will be supplied rather with gadgets that would keep the windows of the taxi semi-ajar by about 5 centimeters, so that the ventilation is allowed through in the vehicle as it moves, and also that these gadgets will ensure that air does not gush into the vehicle as it is in transit, to try and avoid that the cold air rushes into the vehicle and affects passengers whilst on board.
The President's announcement came as operators were already loading at 100% capacity, and we also saw taxi fares going up. It may be a little bit too early to tell. We may appreciate that, but have you seen a difference? Because the taxi industry, the main concern was the loss of revenue and not being able to operate properly.
Yeah, look, let's separate these two. Every business on an annual basis, it will adjust its prices. So the issue of the price increases was just that. It was not as a result of the losses that we were incurring, because it was not actually factored, based on the 30% that we were losing. It was factored in on the basis of our operational costs, having a loading full capacity. But then the issue of, getting to 100% loading capacity was brought about by, at first, the minister was supposed to have come back to us, and it had taken him about 4 or 5 meetings that he had postponed. And, we were under pressure that, here we are, the minister is not coming forth with the answers. And the only best thing that we could do, because in that situation, because the minister was absent, we then went ahead and implemented that. It is not as a result of us forcing things to happen. It's because of the frustrations that the taxi industry has been facing since the lockdown was effected. You'd remember that we were told at first that we needed to load 50%, and the losses that we incurred would be a subject for discussions. And as we then went on, we were not making money. Instead, we were basically faring people using our own costs until we had to complain again to government, and that was revised to 70%. But then that 70% does not necessarily mean that we are profitable. We still aren't making money. We are unable to meet our monthly financial obligations. Neither are we able to also meet the maintenance of the vehicles. We don't even meet, our own, living costs. So it has been a problem from the very word go.
And maybe let's expand on that. On the COVID-19 relief fund, have negotiations moved any further? Is there anything new that you can tell us where that is concerned?
Look, the issue of the relief fund is such that we've requested that we need to delink the relief fund from corporatization of the taxi industry, because the corporatization of the taxi industry would need us to have a separate engagement where we unpack the whole thing, as the minister had indicated that there will be such an indaba after a level 1. So that indaba will deal specifically with the corporatization of the taxi industry. And then the issue of the relief fund has to be treated separately, even though we are not happy about 1.135 billion as a quantum ex gratia fund has been put to us. We still are not happy with that.
Theo Malele speaks for the National Taxi Alliance. Thank you very much.